Hey, everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. Hello and welcome back. We are here. We made it to the finale of not just the show, not just the series, but the entire franchise of Sex and the City. And just like that, we did it. We did it, Joe. Honestly, I felt a little emotional watching this episode. I thought this was a cute episode. The last couple episodes have been well done, in my opinion. Again, I like to give credit where credit is due. I know we've been hate watching this show, but there was some good writings with some of the episodes this season. Let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Carrie starts us off by visiting or checking out this restaurant that is pretty self-served, basically. So it's one of those newer restaurants. I do see it more in Asian restaurants. Like I've been to an Indian restaurant that has this type of service where there is a robot server, and you can also make the order on an app or on an iPad. So this is becoming more of a thing. And Carrie, being the the dimwit that she is, it's like, girl, you don't know how to work an iPad. Talking about, I don't know. So what do I? Carrie? I mean, look, I get it. This is an older show. You know, this is a show focused on older characters. But my goodness, select your item and make your order. Like, has she never placed a DoorDash pickup or delivery, especially in New York? Anyway, so she finally makes an order. And because she's dining alone, the hostess thought it was a good idea to pair her with this stuffed doll. And I just find it to be so disrespectful. I really do. I think sometimes people have such a negative connotation when you decide to do anything by yourself, whether that's solo vacation, whether that's solo dining, solo movie going. Like, what is it about me being alone that makes you uncomfortable that you have to go out of your way to point out, hey, I noticed you're alone, I brought a stuffed animal for you? Thanks. So we get to LTW with her editor Marion, fine ass McCord Brooks. Okay. And it looks like Michelle Obama may narrate this documentary after she receives the final edit. And LTW receives this news via text, so she's like super excited, and so is he. They embrace in a hug, and for a split moment you see or feel some level of sexual tension between them, which I feel like initially when this came about as a storyline, I thought this was just in her head, because not once do we really see Marion flirting with her. Obviously, like, it wasn't obvious. I feel like it was more under the surface. I mean, remember maybe that scene with him eating the papaya, because who eats papaya like that? Who eats papaya? Let's start there. Especially with the seeds still in them, like from the actual whole fruit. I don't know who eats papaya like that. I had papaya separated, like chopped up like it's cantaloupe, but even then, it's like, who eats papaya? Papaya juice is good, but just straight up like it's a cantaloupe or like it's some mango or watermelon, come on. So maybe that was an obvious scene of him trying to put the brakes or trying to put some advances on LTW. So he's saying, we have to celebrate, we have to celebrate. She says, No, we can't go to dinner. I actually have plans with my mother-in-law. And he said, okay, well, we at least could get some drinks. She says, well, we can't. Look, we just have to keep like whatever it is that's between us, we have to just keep it at the Bayside. We cannot explore this tension, this sexual tension between us. We have to keep it at work. We have to be professional. I'm married, you're married. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm married, you're married. But he said it first. So when she repeated it, he's like, I just said that. So you can tell that there's some discomfort, awkwardness already present between them. Marion reassures her that, yes, I agree. So I guess this confirms that he felt some sexual tension as well. It wasn't just in her head like I thought. And he says like he doesn't want to ruin his profession, right? He doesn't want to ruin this gig. He's a damn good editor apparently, and he does not want to put his career at risk if he were to explore anything further with her. So we get to Steve and Miranda. They're eating together, just them two. And they're talking about just like, how do we get here? How do we get to have a son who is an unwed, unprepared, unwanted father or soon to be father? And I mean, they're just trying to get through it. Steve reassures Miranda, saying, "Look, we're gonna figure it out. We'll figure it out. I know it's weird to even imagine that we'll have someone eventually call us a grandparent, right? We'll have a grandchild, but we'll get through it." Steve asked the question, "Is she pretty?" Talking about Mia. Miranda doesn't even answer the question. She's like, "Why would you even ask me that?" But I mean, is she? I mean, that's a question, right? I want to know how my grandchild's gonna look like. Okay. So we get to Seema and Adam. They're in lovers' land. They're in lovers' bliss. They're doing really well together. She's getting ready to go to this wedding fashion show. And as she's preparing and letting him know about that, he lets her know that he doesn't believe in marriage. He doesn't believe in weddings. He doesn't believe in all the hoopla. Are we surprised? No. I'm not surprised, at least, because Adam is very much more of like, I'm like, he moves to the beat of his own drum. He doesn't succumb to societal standards. He doesn't wear deodorant, right? That alone tells me a lot about him. He's more someone who I feel like will live off the grid. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Seema here feels uncomfortable in this moment. She immediately walks out the bathroom. Adam doesn't really pick up on that, at least in the moment. We don't see that. But Seema is seemingly, well, obviously uncomfortable with this confession or revelation. And I'm thinking, Seema, you are above 50. Okay. Let's say her character is 60 years old. What are you doing talking about you've been imagining your wedding day since you were, what are we talking about? Like, I just feel like, look, granted, there are girls or grown women who have imagined that when they were young girls, right? I just feel like at your old age, and this is not to be ageist or anything, it's just to still have that same mindset of one day I've always dreamed to get married. It's just like, girl, but you're 60. Like that one day never came when you were younger. And to still have that mindset of one day I'm good, like it doesn't compute in my head how you would think that at this age. I feel like, why not just be grateful and happy that you have found this love with someone whom you haven't really found that with previously? So regardless if y'all take it to marriage or not, it should not discredit the love that y'all share. So we get to finally, a scene between LTW and the rest of the girls, except for Miranda. And I'm trying to figure out, oh, LTW's here. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because we rarely see LTW with Carrie, with Seema. Like, we rarely see all of them together, particularly with LTW included. So as they're watching the show, Seema's talking to Carrie, asking her about her thoughts on everything. Like, she's letting her know how Adam does not um he does not care for marriage, he does not care for weddings and all of that. And Seema's having her own aha moment, thinking, well, do I really want it, or have I just been programmed to want it? She asked Carrie, well, you've been married, how do you feel about it? And Carrie's like, yeah, I've been married. Like, Carrie had to remember, she like, girl, I get it, Big is gone, but golly, the erasure of Big is quite insulting. As a viewer, I just find it, I'm still upset that he died. Maybe that's just me, but I'm still upset. I'm still upset that they killed him off. I'm upset that they let the Me Too movement killed his character off, because had it not been for the Me Too movement, I think Big would have still been on the show. Now, who knows if Big and Carrie would have stayed married, but I think he still would have been alive. Okay. Anyway, he's gone. And Carrie explains that she is, or she believes in it, or like, I don't know, she says she believes it, but she just explains that the reason why she was for it was because she got chosen. She was chosen. And I know a lot of y'all with this whole pick me, oh, she's a pig, on this BS crap. I hate that term so much. But there's something to that, right? You know, when you are quote unquote chosen and you have been with your significant other for quite some time, it sort of makes sense to just go ahead with the next step of things, right? So it makes sense how getting chosen or finally getting proposed to get married, it makes sense how that works out. I didn't see anything wrong with what she said. I could already I could already see how some people would have respond or could have responded to her saying, I was chosen, I was chosen. Seema's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry. Okay. And then we see a moment between LTW and Charlotte going over their marriage decisions, and with what you know now about marriage and how you've been experiencing marriage for so many years, would you have still gotten married? Charlotte says absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Basically, like, it's all worth it. And LTW, she pauses and she says, you know what? Yeah, me too. Me too. Because prior to that, they were talking about how like it's all about the men. It's all about our husbands, and when is it ever a time about us? Because Charlotte was saying how since Harry's cancer diagnosis, and since he's been in a remission and in recovery and all of that, his sex drive hasn't been the same. He hasn't been getting hard. He has not, like, their sex life is different. But we don't see any moments alone with Charlotte really complaining about that or feeling so horny out of her mind that she has to go to the bathroom and just rub one out real quick. Like, she's not, we don't see that to be a concern with Charlotte. So when LTW asked her, how do you feel about Harry's lack of sex drive? Charlotte says, well, it's not about me. It's not about how I feel. I wanted Charlotte to say, or I thought she was going to say, I don't really care, because it seems like she doesn't really care. Who knows? But anyway, I thought it was interesting that they said it's all about the guys in their marriage, because I think it's ironic, because typically it's all about the wives, right? Oftentimes we hear the whole happy wife, happy life, even though now people are changing it to happy spouse, happy house. But for a long time, it's always been about the happiness of the wife solely. So for them to say, oh, basically their marriage have been solely about the happiness and the tenderness of their husbands, I thought that was interesting. So Carrie is venting to Charlotte, letting her know that she really feels like she's gonna live the rest of her life alone. And she thought in the back of her mind when she was with when she grieved Big, grieved the loss of Big, she had in the back of her mind that Aiden is a choice, is an option, is an opportunity. And when her and Aiden didn't work out, now she's like, well, I guess that's it. And I thought that was just such a sad way to view things. Like, dang, those are your only two options out of your whole entire 50 plus years of living. That was it for you. And on one hand, I could see how one could think like that because for me, I'm not quick to like, I don't say fall in love, but I'm not quick to be convinced by a man. What is what I mean? Like, uh, convinced to be like, okay, yes, locked in. That's what I mean. I'm not convinced to be locked in by a man easily. So when I do get that feeling, it's like, oh, this is it. Like this is it for real. And then when it turns out to not be it, or if it does, I can see how it could shake your way of thinking, right? I just think it's interesting though, because Carrie, she said, well, it didn't work out. Well, big pass. It didn't work out with Aiden. And then with Duncan, yeah, there's a connection there, but he's not coming back to New York, at least for the next 6 months. And then Carrie just like, well, that's it. Like, dang. I just think it was just such a pessimistic way to view life. So Charlotte's trying to reassure her, letting her know, like, there is a man out there and all these things. But sometimes if you're stuck in that mindset of like, no, I had two great loves and one possible something with, I think Carrie, at least, she's not, I think we're similar in the sense of, I don't like, you don't fall in love with everybody, right? Like you may date here or there, but not everyone is accessible to my heart. So when someone finally penetrates through it, it's like, dang, okay, I'm locked in. So honestly, I kind of get, I get Carrie. I get Carrie. Let me stop acting like I don't. So Herbert is still being a sourpuss since the loss of this election of comp control, whatever it is. Herbert, I mean, golly. I praise LTW for her patience because as soon as she returned from the wedding fashion show, she held Herbert's hand and let him know that we're gonna get through this. Get through what? You lost a damn campaign or election. Whoop-de-doo. Like, did somebody die? Did you lose your job? Are we one less income in this household? What are you getting through? You lost a fucking elect. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. So she's like, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, babe. Miss me and you. He's like, so he's just like, I'm gonna get over this. Like, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna beat this depression. Like, what are you? Okay. So we get to Adam confronted by Carrie because we also learned that Adam doesn't believe in Thanksgiving. I fuck with Adam though. I kind of like his mindset. Like, okay, what's that phrase? Off the fray or whatever it is. Like, yeah, go by your own set of rules and you don't have to succumb to society and what is supposed to be deemed as a holiday. No, do what you want. But with that mindset though, it is hard because you always have to defend it. You always have to explain it, especially. People are curious or even offended that you're not participating in everything that everybody else is participating in. So when Carrie asked him, he already knew, oh, is it about the marriage thing? So Carrie asked him, I just have one question. Is is Seema just another Thursday? Basically saying just how Adam views Thanksgiving as just another Thursday, does he view Seema the same way? He reassures Carrie that Seema is not just another Thursday. She is so much more special than just another Thursday. And that's evident. That is evident. I didn't think he was being facetious or exaggerative at all in that moment. So we finally get to Harry and Charlotte boning after however long it's been. He finally gets hard again. I don't know if it was the bending that Charlotte was doing as she was glazing the turkey, but finally they're getting it on. Carrie's going around in a taxi delivering her pre-ordered Thanksgiving pies. And it was cute because she was delivering it to every loved one in her life, to Miranda, but she stopped at her home to be a part of her Thanksgiving festivities. And Brady, of course, is a chef because we know that he is going to culinary school and pursuing that career path. The special guest of the evening is Mia and her two friends or whatever they are. But Miranda leaves before they arrive because she wants to be there for Joy, whose dog, Sappho, got sick and needed immediate surgery. Which I felt like, okay, I get it. Brady's a young adult and you don't have to have this like cookie cutter Thanksgiving moment with him. But to kind of leave him abruptly, I felt like was a little selfish. I felt like it was another example of Miranda just doing anything for love and going on a whim. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think the gesture was nice. Don't get me wrong, but you could obviously see and Brady made it been known. I said this wrong still, but Brady let us know that he was upset a little bit that Miranda left. But she came back. Anyway, so we see Mia, Brady's baby mama, and her nimwit of friends. And they're just rude as F, okay? Completely rude. Coming in, talking about, hi, very standoffish. It was a weird moment. I feel like whatever perception that the writers decided to make Mia, they did it absolutely to the T. Because, man, it's going to be an awful 18 years of Brady with this woman here, co-parenting with her. I don't know what he even saw in her to have had casual sex with. So she's talking about she doesn't eat anything but seaweed and cucumber. Brady says, okay, but that we don't have any of that. Like, what? So she's being defensive, talking about, oh, well, sounds like a you problem. No one asked me if, what food restrictions or dietary restrictions I have. Like, girl, you need to vocalize that. Like, who the hell comes to a Thanksgiving dinner and not ask what's on the menu or let them know, hey, I have a restricted diet. Do you mind accommodating to my needs? Like, people just don't assume or wouldn't assume that you only eat cucumbers and whatnot. So Brady, trying and showing effort, leaves and goes to the grocery store to pick up some of what Mia needs to eat or says she needs to eat. But come to find out, she ends up eating some of the cheese platter. Brady finds out and he's like, why did you say you only eat cucumbers and whatever the else? She said, sounds like a you problem. Like, girl, she is such a bitch. Oh, I hope he's not the daddy. But clearly it's appearing as if he is, and it is what it is. We'll never know at this point. So this guy here, the guy from Whoville, I guess is supposed to be the new suitor or trying to be the new suitor of Carrie, but Carrie is not into this man at all. Like, please get away from me with all of this Apollo. Miranda shows up for Joy because Miranda was actually suspicious about her dog being sick. She thought Joy was just lying about it, making up an excuse since she was present when Brady lashed out on Miranda. But come to find out, it was true, and Sappho actually needed surgery. Thankfully, he turned out well. The surgery went well, and he is resting in the apartment. Okay. So anyway, this guy here, he's trying to pull some moves on Carrie. Carrie is not here for this man at all. This dude, Mia's friend, is voguing and just completely being so rude. Like, come on. I get it. It's a different generation, but at the very least, be mindful of your surroundings. And it's not even about the whole gay stuff or whatever it is, because obviously Miranda is a part of the community too. But don't just be voguing in someone's house that you just visited for the first time and you think it's appropriate, and you're playing the music off of your portable speaker, playing it mad loud. Miranda has to politely ask you, or very shyly, she has to ask you in a quiet voice, could you actually turn that down? What do you mean, could you? Turn this shit off. Turn it off. Because you're in my home. How dare you? I know you're trying to play nice to Mia, make it up to her for ambushing her at her place of employment, but you need to mind your manners when you're in my home, especially. Yada, yada, yada. The turkey did not turn out fully cooked. And this guy pooped and flooded Miranda's toilet. That was a definitely funny scene. And I think it's just a real moment though, right? You're in someone's home for the first time, or maybe not for the first time, but you're in someone's home, use their restroom, you think you flushed it all the way, or you think it flushed successfully, and then before you leave, you learn that, oh wait, it's not going down. That is so uncomfortable. I feel like if the home was packed, like if there was a lot of people in the house, shit, go ahead, do that Irish goodbye. Go ahead and Irish goodbye yourself out of the house. I would have been like, I don't know who did that. It wasn't me. There's 20 people in the house. I could blame it on any one of them. But unfortunately, there were only like less than 5 people in the home. So, and he was clearly in the restroom and everyone else was right outside. So we couldn't get away with that. So we get to the final scene. And Carrie's having a better outlook about things, it seems like. She comes in and she decides to walk around in her heels now that she doesn't have to worry about Duncan or consider him. And she immediately plays music from her karaoke machine. And you could just feel that she is content. Like, you know what? Yes, I am alone, but I am not on. No way. She rewrites it in her epilogue. She writes, I'm not alone, basically, but I am on my own, right? And that's the reality of it. Yes, she is on her own. She lives in this home alone, this big ass home alone, but she is not alone. She has a loved one in her life. She has loved ones in her life. She has family. She considers the girls as her family. So I think that's a great perspective that we see is now shifting for Carrie in this final moment. And I thought that was a very sweet depiction. So Anthony decides to share with Giuseppe how his trepidations about them getting married is stemmed from him thinking that Giuseppe is going to look at Anthony as another mother figure. And he got a pie in his face because of that. You see a beautiful moment with the last few scenes, and that's pretty much it, y'all. That's pretty much it. And that is that. And just like that, it ended. And just like that, Big is still gone. I'm not over it. But that is all. Let me know what you think about this episode, the series finale of And Just Like That. Were you pleased? Were you unimpressed? I thought it was good writing. It was a nice end, and it is so. All right, make sure you are subscribed. Tell a friend, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.